presented by EA Sports in association with the PGA Tour. Set in the Sonoran Desert and surrounded by the majestic McDowell Mountains, we're at the stadium course at TPC Scottsdale in Arizona. Hello again and welcome. Rich Loader alongside Frank Nobilo, set to bring you all the action for today's event. Frank, when you think about the TPC Scottsdale, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
The golf course has been radically changed in 2014, but it still hasn't lost its luster. Really, it's just been updated like the game itself for these young, strong players of the modern era.
Frank, not the longest hitter, but sometimes you win tournaments by putting it in a good spot, and that's where we are right here, 280 yards out.
Yeah, 280 down the middle of the fairway. That'll never get you in trouble. Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green. And it was almost like that's what he wanted to do, but why would you want it to run over the back?
In the cup. What a shot. Can't get much better than that. Now to the second hole, and Frank, what can you tell us about this par 4?
A new tee has been added, lengthening this hole 30-plus yards. Plus, what used to be just one bunker on the right side of the screen has changed to a little pot bunker, and the addition of 2 bunkers on the left side. Still a semi-blind tee shot, and the hole just bends softly to the left. Another very good par 4 here at TPC Scottsdale.
That's a good shot, right where you want to be, in the fairway here at number 2. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Oh, looked like he caught a flyer right there, Frank.
Well, I don't know what he caught, but this is way too much.
Oh boy, Frank, what happened there?
Just in between, Rich. You know, you don't want to come up short. There's no way, you know, you're going to try and be in that situation, but a little too much club and probably a little too anxious too. Tough position.
Yes, he's holed it, Frank.
Unbelievable from that distance.
Frank, what's the strategy here off the tee at the par 5 third?
For the long hitters, they still think that they can reach this par 5 and 2 comfortably with a good tee shot. For the shorter hitters, it really is a thought about where you lay up that second shot to try and leave a good third shot yardage in. Still a good tee shot, though. That hazard down the right side protects against someone who's a little too cavalier off the tee.
Always so nice, Frank, when that gleaming white golf ball is sitting up on those emerald fairways, the way this one is.
The game almost appears easy when one is playing their second shot from the middle of the fairway, and you quickly forget how difficult it can be. You look left or right, the game becomes much harder. Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. Into the thick stuff, that's a difficult lie. This requires a lot of speed through the ball. Oh boy, we have a ball game right now, don't we, partner?
Oh, starting to get sweaty palms.
For those of you just tuning in, we're checking in now on our featured golfer here at the 4th. Frank, I've been impressed with the play to this point early in the round.
Yeah, it's solid without being spectacular, and that's actually a huge compliment.
Well, you can hear it right off the center of the club face. This has a chance to be close. That's well played. Now a good look at birdie.
Really. This is an awkward length.
Oh, I thought he had that. But you hate to miss from that distance. Settles in over the putt. Knocked that down for par, remains at 4 under. Well, Frank, now at the 5th hole, the par 4, the challenge stiffens just a bit.
Yeah, the longest par 4, obviously in the start of this golf course, around the 470-yard mark. 2 bunkers down the right have been changed to 1, but it's in the perfect position now. Of course, that new tee added to add a little bit of length to this hole. The green still remains relatively similar to what it used to be.
Frank, not overly long, but still a pretty good spot and in the fairway.
Yeah, that's in that 280 mark.
This is the second shot at the par 4.
There's a bunker over there.
I think he's headed for it. Oh my goodness, that could have been really bad.
Can you imagine if that kicks towards the bunker?
Not a gimme, but well within his range. I tell you, he's setting himself up for a good weekend. A former college #1 makes another birdie. Now to the par 4 6th. Decision time, Frank. Driver, or do you go with 3-wood?
A lot of that's going to depend on if there's any breeze. If the breeze is at your back, you can drive it all the way down the right side and take those 2 bunkers down the right completely out of play. This hole's been stiffened up, though. The length hasn't increased, but that bunkering in that choke point. So, the strategy. Do you have the length to get past them? Or, if you have to lay up, it's going to leave a much longer second shot.
Frank, this has been impressive. Game plan, stuck to it, hitting some quality shots.
He's really done his homework on the golf course, swinging well, and, well, there's a few holes to go, too. And this round could get even better.
Frank going for another birdie here.
Just to get on a real roll.
It's a good-looking putt right here. You might like it. And he has it, Frank.
I don't believe it.
On to the par 3 7th, 215 yards from that back tee box, Frank.
This hole hasn't really changed. Still has that V-shaped green where it's very narrow in the front. A high-flying shot in here that carries that front edge, and you'll find the further and further you go back there, the more receptive, and that green starts to widen. There's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
And it generates some momentum here at the 7th hole, just for birdie. Locked in on the read and the speed. You couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. Trying to move on with a par in his pocket. continues to hold that sizable lead on the rest of the field. Frank, the par 4 8th, this is a good hole.
It is. A dog leg to the left forces the player to go at the right, and this will play every inch of its yardage, which is over 470 yards. Green's still pretty much the same with that false front, unless there's a flag position in the front. You're really going to have to fly it at least 20 yards or so into that green, otherwise that ball is going to run towards the front.
That's a heck of a poke right there, 310 yards and in the fairway.
Well, it's going to take a good one here, considering what they've already gone through, Rich. Right now, that green is going to look very small, so it's going to take a good shot here to give himself an opportunity.
Some really poor play to this point. So a chance for birdie after another solid approach shot.
It's no snack, though.
Well, that would have been a bonus had it gone in, but still, reasonable chance for par here.
Yeah, there's no damage. You're not going to birdie every hole.
Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Rounding out the front nine with a par 4 of 453 yards from the back tee. Looks to be straight away here, Frank. Anything to be cautious about on this tee shot?
Well, that bunker, there used to be two bunkers down the right side. There is now one, and it also pinches into the fairway, which almost makes this hole look like a faint dogleg right. But really, the best line is still down the left side, so it still actually suits a draw off the tee. Green is slightly elevated and not very deep, too. So judging that second shot, getting the right club is essential here at 9.
Just a bit offline here, Frank, but not too bad.
You don't know if it's the wind or just the lie there. Should be okay.
Chance to close out the front side here with a birdie. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Wow, I thought he made that. Oh, man. You can't miss him from that distance. This would give him the par. Well, you can see it there. Feels very good about what he's doing. That's a nice par putt. Stays at 6 under. Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back. Long and straight.
That's how you do it. Looks to be a good setup going into the green here at the 10th. This is just a superb performance. Great round to this point, Frank, and you can really see that reflected in his mood today.
Yeah, it just looks too easy. Swinging the club beautifully. Ball's going exactly where he wants it to. He's not trying to take too many risks. So consequently, he's getting birdie opportunity after birdie opportunity.
Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot. About 25 feet from the cup. And it's a long way to the hole from here. Never easy. Well, you could see he thought he had that.
It looked in the whole way until the end.
Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
Workmanlike hole. He walks away with a par. Now at the par 4 11th, Frank, I really like this hole.
Well, you might be the only one, Rich, because this is an absolute scorecard wrecker. Water all the way down the left side. There's two bunkers. Don't worry about that. They're not off the tee. They're around the green. They protect the left front and the back. If you think you can bail out down the right side, well, you could find cactus and all sorts of crazy things down the right. And believe me, go down there, more than anything, they'll wreck your scorecard as well.
I think that was a good drive. Second from an excellent lie. Frank, one of the great moments in tournament history here in Scottsdale, you go back to 1996, the sudden death playoff between Phil Mickelson and Justin Leonard. Mickelson has always been the hero out here because he went to Arizona State.
Yeah, and it still runs through his veins, Rich. It was such an important win for him because to do it in front of people that he considered his home crowd was huge. And then also to do it in a playoff where, obviously it's win or lose. So for Mickelson, 1996 and TPC Scottsdale certainly ring home.
And it is in.
Amazing. Amazing.
Well, Frank, this is kind of the forgotten par 3 on the back 9 here at TPC Scottsdale. All of that attention on hole number 16. What do you think of the par 3 12?
This is by far tougher, Rich. Downhill tee shot, especially off that back tee. Bunkering down the left sort of it catches your eye, but it also takes your eye off the water, which is behind and to the right of this green. Got to be careful. This is a real sleeper, this par 3.
Great effort right there, and a great chance to knock in that short putt. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. Man,
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Just a couple of feet. 7 under on the day. To the par 5 13th here at TPC Scottsdale. Lots of danger left and right of this tight fairway, Frank.
This hole has really changed over the years. There used to be a split fairway. That no longer exists. That bunker you can see down the left side, which you can't carry, really defines the left side of this hole. Water still in play down the right, and big change here is the bunkering along the left, front, and left side of this green. So you can't just blaze away and comfortably expect to hit 13 and 2 anymore.
And he steps up to take this shot from the fairway. Players still fighting the strong winds out there today. Not what he wanted, but he's headed to the beach. In the greenside bunker here, Frank. Nice to go to the beach, but not too often, we hope. Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on that. Easy birdie.
And now he has this for the birdie. Playing beautiful golf. 8 under for the tournament. At the 14th now, it's a par 4.
And a dogleg left once again. The bunker on the left side's been pushed out to the fairway to really make you think whether or not you can carry that. It's a lengthy second shot because it's going to play a little bit uphill. And this green is well protected on the left side with the 2 bunkers.
He has given this one the full treatment. Perfect release through the ball. And this shot is on the fairway, over 300 yards. Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. Midway through this back nine, could use this birdie here at the 14th.
It's at sneaky distance.
Wow, I can't believe he found the cup on that one.
Clean up on aisle 5.
Great scoring opportunity here at the par 5 15th, but Frank, I'm wondering, as a player, is your mind beginning to think about what's ahead at that par 3 16th hole?
Oh, they are. This is really the finishing stretch at TPC Scottsdale, where you get all these swing holes. 15 is a swing hole. 16, 17, and 18, where so many changes in the score can actually happen. But this one here is all about finding the fairway. A good drive down here will be well rewarded because you'll have a chance to reach this par 5 and 2.
That was just a gutsy shot right there, and a good look at eagle coming up. Getting set now over the putt. Wow, that was so close, Frank.
Just time to forget that one. I mean, he couldn't hit that much better.
I'll tell you, he's setting himself up for a good weekend. Former college #1 makes another birdie. Well, partner, here we go. Players have characterized it as terrifying, chaotic, amazing. The stadium atmosphere here at this hole, the 16th of par 3, is really spectacular, isn't it, Frank?
It is. Because of the atmosphere, the number of people, this is the closest a golfer gets to like kicking a field goal in a Super Bowl. It's just surrounded by people. It's not really the difficulty of the hole. Just over 160 yards and modest par 3. There's no water in trouble. But it's an atmosphere that golfers never normally are familiar with.
Pretty much doing everything right this week. 11 under for the tournament. Frank, when you get to the 17th hole, we always recall maybe the single most bizarre shot in the history of golf.
Yeah, everybody talks about maybe a hole-in-one at 16, but really 17. And the player was Andrew McGee. It was a good tee shot, don't get me wrong. But Rich, it needed an assist.
Well, the assist came from Tom Byram, whose brother Kurt is a commentator for the Golf Channel. Tom Byram was just minding his own business, standing on the green, sort of leaning on his putter, and you know what happened.
Yeah, the ball hit Tom Byram's putter and then careened into the hole. So, 17. Made famous, a little bit of history with a couple of names to drag up from the past.
Hold it, Frank.
Great picture.
Par 4 18th, and Frank, if you are trying to win the tournament out here at TPC Scottsdale, this is all you want down the stretch.
It is. There's a short bunker there, obviously for the recreational player to respect. 3 bunkers down the right side protected, and that new bunkering situation down the left there to stop the attack of a Bubba Watson or a J.B. Holmes. Now this tee shot is going to have to be respected, and the green too is anything other than flat.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special. There's a bunker over there.
I think he's headed for it. Sometimes you get breaks, and he got one right there.
Yeah, I guess the bunker was a little smaller than I thought it was. It looked doomed for that.
Not a gimme, but well within his range. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. So through one round, Frank, our leader really put on a good show today.
They certainly did, Rich. It was truly a great performance, especially from tee to green. It's not easy to come out of the gates like that.